Good evening and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mayer. Here we are on day 215. And I'm continuing the story of the water lily and the prince. The prince, having learned the language of the birds, sent a message to the wizard of Finland, per the advice of the birds, who had been scolding him and making fun of him because he was, so inept, so unable to do what needed to be done to free his beloved from being caught in the form of a yellow lily in the river. The wizard was delighted that the prince knew the language of the birds and had requested his help, and without delay informed the birds what the prince must do in order to free his beloved. Off the birds went, this time not faring so well, for the wind was against them. It took them a few days to finally get back and let the prince know what was asked of him to free his beloved. It was not so simple, it seemed to him, because it involved, leaping into the river itself, taking the form of a crab, releasing the lily, cutting her loose from her roots that bound her to the bottom of the river, hanging on to her through rapids and the swift current of the river until upon the side of the river he was to see a particular tree. There, at the base of that huge tree, he was to call out for Lily to become woman and for Crab to become man. Well, these instructions haunted him. How could he possibly do this? What were the chances? And once a crab, how would he remember what he was supposed to do? For days, he sat stewing about this, not very prince-like, not boldly taking up action that needed to be taken in order to free his beloved, but instead sitting, pondering, brooding, until finally, again, some birds who had flown into the castle, into his room, began to make fun of him. Look at how he sits. He's so silly. He's been given the instructions on how to free his beloved, but here he sits here, unhappy, forlorn, not knowing what to do. But he does know what to do. He just doesn't have the will to do it. He's just not much of a prince. When the prince heard this, it was enough. He got up immediately. He went straight out to the stables, saddled a horse, and made his way very quickly to the bridge. Tying his horse to a tree, he went down to the river. And what happened next, you'll have to return tomorrow to find out.